Other 27-year-olds?
Do I know any other 27-year-olds? Yeah, a few. Yeah.
How many of them dye their hair?
I know one 25-year-old who dyes his hair.
Right.
And that's Ben.
Right.
Yeah. And he's a bit strange.
I think you understand where I'm going with this.
Are you saying you don't like it?
Yeah.
Okay. What about if I dyed my beard?
I'd be a bit upset like that. It'd look weird, wouldn't it?
Okay. You ready?
I'm born ready.
Okay. So, one of the things people always ask me for personal development is, how do you find your why? Because obviously when people say, how do you keep motivated and committed to achieving what you want to achieve, it's usually because something's driving you. And people, that's individual to each person, and it's quite difficult to answer. So what advice would you give to somebody if they asked you, how do you find your why or your purpose?
I think this is like 2010 onwards. There's been a lot of, you need to know your purpose.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily agree with that.
Okay.
Let me be clear. Patience is really important with that, right? So you can't just go, right, I need to find my why. We get a pen and paper and write it down. It doesn't happen. What tends to happen is significant events in your life occur, which then kind of form your path. All right, so I now do this for them. And it's normally around children. I remember us having that conversation about 5 years ago in regards to, okay, so what, where are we going with this?
Yeah, I remember.
And you having extreme difficulty and reading 3-4 books just on purpose.
Yep.
And not getting anywhere with it.
Yep.
Become a father, what's your why?
Yeah,
I
agree.
Completely changes overnight.
Yeah.
So patience and maturity will sort of forge that. So the key is, don't push it. You'll find your why through personal goals, like mainly. So lots of people will focus on their professional goals. Where do I want to be professionally? And they don't really focus on, why do I want that? Okay. Your why, long-term, big thinking goal will come from small little personal goals. So where do I want to be commercially? I want to be X, Y, and Z. I want to run my own company, whatever that might be. And then just ask yourself, why do I want that?
Okay.
Well, I'd want that for this, and I'd want that for that, and I'd want that for that. And then go, okay, so why is that important?
Yeah.
Well, that's important because of this, because of this, because of this. And eventually you'll start creating it. But don't rush. Patience.
So the answer's twofold, really. One, it just sort of happens with life. Like when my son was born, that was it. That was instant. I know what my why is. But you've also got like your own personal goals that you're setting out in your career path or what you want to do in your own personal life. But then you look at your individual why is that important for each individual one. And
I think if you speak to any mother or father, their why is their kids.
Yeah.
Right? Normally it's to provide a better future than they had, to create more opportunity than they had. So like a goal for me is, I don't want my kids to ever make a decision based on finance, ever. Yeah. So that's going to be difficult to achieve. So all their decisions, whatever decision that they could possibly make, should never be based on money. So never take a job because it's more money. Take a job because it's more valuable to you. You offer more. You get more from it.
Yeah.
Don't move to an area because of money. Move to an area that you can be inspired and love to go there. And so that's my why now. But 15 years ago it wasn't.
Yeah, but I get what you're saying. So if you haven't got that significant why, you can look at your small personal goals or business goals and attach whys to them. Why do I want that?
15 years ago, my why was to be known as the #1 sales trainer in the world.
Yeah.
But that was for my ego, right? That was an egotistical thing. Ego's not a bad thing. No. But when I had kids, I didn't really want to be travelling all over the world.
No.
Now, so my why now...
You don't. Sometimes you do.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't want to be all over the world. I want to be at home 5 o'clock, having tea with my kids. So now my why is, I want to impact the lives of 10,000 people that are the closest to me. So right here, wherever I am, 10,000 people around me.
Yep.
I want to impact 10,000 people. So if I impact 10,000 people, then they'll impact 10,000 people, and they'll impact, and so on and so forth.
Yep.
So I can have that gravitas from an egotistical perspective, but not have to travel around the world. Now, for me, adding that, my kids get what they want as well. Yeah. Or I get what I want to give to my kids.
Yeah.
Key is, don't rush. Focus on little things. that'll get you to the big things.
Great. Okay. Good answer.
Thank you, Edward.
So at what moment in your personal life did you realise that personal development and growth was a mandatory thing, and what triggered that?
Oh, I like that word. Yeah, it is mandatory, in my opinion. Personal development, personal growth is a mandatory thing. So in a previous conversation we had, it was, how do I know what a good employee is?
Yeah.
And them being focused on their own personal growth is like a massive key for me. If you're not focused on that, you're really no use to me, because if you're not growing, neither will the business.
Yep.
So when did I decide it was a mandatory thing? I've always been interested in external education. I didn't really fit in very well at school, because I always felt that I wasn't being taught the stuff that I really wanted to find out. So I was never taught how to be rich, and being rich was something that I wanted to be.
Mm-hmm.
But I was never taught that in economics. I was taught basic calculus.
Yeah.
The first book that I ever read was Think and Grow Rich, and I was 15. And I was given it by a multimillionaire. And he said, if you want to focus on being rich, learn how to do it. Now, richness is not all about money.
No.
So living a rich life is not all about having loads of money. Money
Yeah.
helps, right? But it's not all about that. So I think it was sort of forced upon me at that point in time.
Yeah.
But I read the book and I was like, oof. And I
Yeah.
went back to him and said, what next? And then he gave me Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People. I said,
Yeah.
do that. And then all of a sudden I was sort of down this winding road of developing myself, and
Yep.
I sort of fell in love with it.
Okay.
So I don't think there was a defining moment of where I decided personal development is important. I think at one point in time it was sort of like forced on me.
Mm.
But then I did something, I got great benefit from it. So like Dale Carnegie's book about
Yeah.
how to communicate with people, I use every single day, and I've done for the last 20 odd years. 20 years or so.
Okay. So it was like external, but you saw some results.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah, I decided it was compulsory when I saw the benefit of doing it.
Yeah.
Same as anything else, right? You go to the gym, you
Yeah.
don't lift a weight and go, oh, it's bigger now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like at what point in time do you go to the gym and then go, oh, my muscles are now bigger? Doesn't happen, does it?
No.
At a certain time. Over time, you go, oh, I'm now starting to see the benefit of it.
Yeah, sure.
So there was no definitive moment with me. I read lots of stuff, did lots of stuff that I'd been told to do from the reading that I'd read,
Mm.
and then started seeing the rewards from it. Not just for me, but for others as well.
Okay. Interesting.
Thank you.
Thanks. Last question then. What do you struggle with the most in regards to personal development?
Balance.
What do you mean?
So balance is a value of mine that there's no point me, and congruency.
Okay.
So let's break both of them down. So balance, knowing that although I want to influence 10,000 people around me, the three most important people that I want to impact, I should spend most of my time with.
Yeah.
Right? So not letting the crusade really affect my crusade,
Yeah.
which is to be the best husband, the best father I can be.
Yeah.
And knowing when to switch off. Like sometimes and often I'll find myself still at work at 11:30 at night.
Mm-hmm.
Not in the office. You know, I'd gone home, I'd eaten with the family, I'd put the kids to bed. And then all of a sudden I'm back working.
Mm.
It's knowing that it's okay to switch off. That's the hardest thing for me. Like I hate having emails in my inbox.
Yeah.
I hate seeing 17, 59. If it's over 100, like I can't switch off. It freaks me out.
Yeah.
You know, some days I'll get 100, 200 emails.
Yeah.
So that's the first one. And the second one is congruency, which is sort of linked to that. That, you know, I'm a big believer in work-life balance. Well, if I teach people work-life balance and I get them 20 hours a week back so they can invest it in their family, well, I shouldn't be working at 11 o'clock at night either.
No.
So congruency and balance are the hardest things that I find, and I think it's different for everybody.
Yeah, sure. How do you deal with that then? So an add-on.
Yeah.
Those what you struggle with. How do you deal with those?
Being aware of it, awareness is key, isn't it? So
Yeah.
if you're not aware that you struggle with certain things, you'll always be in denial about it, so you'll never do anything about it.
Yeah.
You know, being in denial is, it's okay, I need to do this. So if I find an email coming through at 11:30 at night and I go onto it, I'll ask myself this question: do I really need to be doing this right now?
Yeah.
Will this person mind if I respond? It's okay for me to respond at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Then I'll put it away. At Christmas, I delete my emails off my phone.
The app.
Purposely, yeah. So my app on my phone where I get emails, deleted.
Yeah.
Because like that's a really important time for my family. So I delete it. So there's certain things like that I'll do, but again, I'm not a saint. I'll fall into the trap. So the main thing is being aware of it. Don't be in denial. Be aware that you're not a superhero. You're going to fail from time to time, and that's okay. It's all part of the journey. If you want great work-life balance, you're going to have to fail at it sometimes to pick yourself back up.
Yeah. All right.
So that's it.
Cool. Thanks.
Thanks, Edward.
Thank you very much.
Can we now turn the air conditioning on because it's out here? Thank you.
All right, mate.